Want to learn how I was able to get my dream car, my dream condo, and be able to make over $250,000 a year from a YouTube business model called YouTube automation. Now, the really cool thing about YouTube automation doesn't require you to edit your own videos, put your face out there on camera. In fact, it really is pretty easy work compared to the traditional way of being a YouTuber. So if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, to have freedom out there from YouTube, keep watching this and I'll break it down for you. Okay, so before we break down how this business model works, I wanted to go ahead and probably talk about just who I am. You're probably wondering, okay, well, who is this guy? What's his credibility? And what kind of information do I need to know about him? Okay, so I'll try to speed through my story because I don't want to make it super long and boring. But pretty much, when I started out, I started with $200 in my bank account. I reached out to a YouTuber who had over 1 million subscribers to learn from that YouTuber. He went ahead and taught me everything I needed to know about YouTube. I then started to meet with some of the biggest YouTube stars. At the time, they weren't so big. One of those guys was Mr. Beast. Now, Mr. Beast at the time only had 800,000 subscribers, but now he has over 30 million subscribers. And so I worked with him and a bunch of other YouTubers in this group, and we would always try to learn how to grow on YouTube, try to figure out the tactics. And we stumbled upon this business model called YouTube automation. So after we stumbled upon that business model, I then learned how to go ahead and replicate kind of what they were doing, what they figured out, and do it for myself with these YouTube channels. And so I would grow these YouTube channels, take them off and everything, and I would have a team that helps me with the production. Now, right there, you may be thinking to yourself, wait, but does that mean I need employees? Does that mean I have to figure all that stuff out? I don't have money to hire a team. Now, this is where the cool thing about YouTube automation comes into play. The cool thing is you actually don't need to pay like an actual salary to these people. These people are called freelancers. Now, freelancers online are pretty much these people who just want some side income, who want to work on maybe an edit of your video, or they'll help you with script writing your video, narrating your video. They'll pretty much do the video production for a cheap rate. Now, I'll get a little bit more into that later into this video and break it all down how it works, but I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know just my credibility from that angle. I've worked with some of the biggest YouTube stars. One of them is Preston with over 10 million subscribers. Hey Caleb, how comfy is that Lego bed?
It's really comfy. Honestly,
are you lying to me right now?
I invest $3,000 into Legos just to change beds.
The sad thing is, guys, these Legos did cost us almost $3,000. They are not cheap.
And I've just been able to work with so many other YouTubers and get them a ton of subscribers simply because I know my stuff. And so I want to real quick break that down before we go further in the video so you guys know that you're talking to someone who's legit. Okay, so the thing I'm going to break down next is I'm going to show you some YouTube channels who are actually applying this business model, because you've seen them all around and you're maybe thinking to yourself, wait, I don't know if I ever heard of this business model. I don't even know what it is. And the truth is you've actually seen these channels. So I'll be showing you some channels that actually are applying these tactics so you can see maybe you can apply them too. Now, the main channel I wanted to break down was this channel called Looper. Now, there's several of them. I'll put them on the screen so you can see different types of channels, but the main one I'm going to be talking about is Looper. Now, Looper is a channel that goes around movies, TV shows, talks about famous, actors, stuff like that. It's mainly in that niche. And pretty much what it is I'll play like a real fast clip of what they actually do, how they edit their video, how everything works. I'll play a clip of that so you can kind of see their video editing style and how it works.
Once upon a time, Tom Holland was best known for starring in the stage version of Billy Elliot in the 2012 disaster flick The Impossible. Of course, that all changed when the British actor appeared in Captain America: Civil War, donning the iconic Spider-Man suit to fight against Steve Rogers.
What's up, everybody?
Marvel fans everywhere thought Holland absolutely killed it as Peter Parker, and they also agreed he looked ripped as everybody's favorite web slinger. He might have even made...
As you can see in that video, you can tell that there's no face, right? There's no person talking to you with face, but there is a narration, right? And there's a script. What you guys probably don't know, there's a script behind it. The guy is reading off a script that someone else made for him. And then on top of that, they have an editor that then puts all those two people together and creates a really amazing video. Again, back to what I said in the very beginning. You may be thinking right here, well, here's the thing. I don't have the money to pay these people to do this work for me. And it doesn't matter if you have $0 or not. The truth is this business model you can get started on even with $0. Of course, at the very beginning of the time, if you don't have any money where you can hire people to help you out, obviously you're gonna go ahead and have to do some of the video editing yourself and some of the work yourself. But once you just get just a little bit of money, let's say $300-400 a month off of that YouTube channel that you created, you can then take that money and then put it into these freelancers to help you create content for you. Then you just start scaling it like a company would scale their company. And then eventually you can take yourself out of the business model. You don't have to do any of the work. You really can just sit back, relax, relax and see the money coming in as your team works for you and gets the videos done for you. Ultimately, it's an investment called YouTube automation. That's literally what it is. It's automating your YouTube channel. Now, here's the problem with normal traditional YouTube stars. Again, I've worked with some huge ones like Preston with over 10 million subscribers. And one thing I really noticed about what his business model is, one of the difficulties is that all the views are dependent on his face. It's very hard for Preston to just step back away from his YouTube channel. Mainly, he's getting views from his face. People are watching his content because they want to see his face. And so that makes it very difficult for you to completely take yourself out of the business and relax. Now, that's why I was saying YouTube automation is one of the greatest things that you can do with YouTube, because it allows you where you don't even have to have a face out there. So you can have different people be stars of your YouTube channel without you having to be the star of the YouTube channel. And that allows you to scale it. That allows you to not have to really touch it. And most importantly, you can actually sell these YouTube channels down the road like real companies, because companies will actually pay you because they realize that they don't need you for it. They can just pay you, take it over themselves and build it up like a normal company, which is one of the greatest things. The issue with a personality, having your face out there on camera, is you can't really sell that. It's totally dependent on you. And so companies are not really willing to buy that, right? Because it still depends on you to bring in the views. So that's why YouTube automation is one of the greatest businesses you can get in right now, because it allows so much more scalability and long-term success. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna end up putting a screenshot on the screen so you can kind of see how it works, how we funnel, how we create the content. It's almost like an assembly line. That's the way I set up my team. That's the way I manage my team, my channels. It's assembly line. You can see how it starts off with the video idea, right? Then we turn it into a thumbnail. And then after turning it into the thumbnail, we then turn it over to the scriptwriter. The scriptwriter will then send it over to the narrator, and then the narrator will send it over to the video editor, and then the video editor will send it over to us to review the whole video all together, and we upload the video. You see, it's a whole assembly line that gets put together. And by doing it this way, you actually get an amazing piece of quality content that you can then post out there publicly on YouTube that gets millions of views and makes you millions of dollars. Now, let's actually talk about how much you could make from this YouTube channel. I know that's a lot of you guys are probably thinking about that, and so I want to break that down for some of you. Now, here's the thing about just in general YouTube automation, how much you can expect to make, okay? Now, there's no guaranteed result. There's no guaranteed how much you can make. It varies for so many people, and there's so many different factors into it. For example, the niche that you're in, that has a huge key element in just making money on YouTube and getting a ton of views. If you're in a niche that's super popular, that's good because you're gonna get more views, which means probably more money. But generally speaking, I've seen people, the average person who started this business model, applied the tactics that I gave them and the mentorship I gave them. I've seen the average person within like 6 months start making profit over $2,000 a month. And that's profit. So that means after you pay for your team, after you cover, you have your team cover all the videos for you, so you don't have to do any of the work. These guys aren't really doing any work at all, and they're coming out with like $2,000 a month after everything. That's a decent chunk of money, not to mention how much you can make if you really want to put your energy into it. Because if you put more time and energy yourself into it, probably make way more money than that. Now let's break down exactly how you make money from YouTube, because some of you guys probably don't know that either. So the way you make money with YouTube, a lot of people think that when you upload a YouTube video for 24 hours or so, you make money off of it and then it dies off immediately. But that's not the case. In fact, so many videos you post, let's say you posted a video 2 years ago, that video can still make you money to this day. It can make you $20 plus a day. I have a lot of videos that is making me a lot of money that I uploaded a long time ago that still to this day is making me money. That's why YouTube is so great. Unlike other platforms, your content will die out so quickly, but with YouTube, your content will stay alive for a long period of time, making you money for work that you did long ago. Now, the way you make money is from a thing called ad revenue. Now, ad revenue is the ads that you see before, in the middle, and after of your YouTube video. You've probably seen it all over the place on YouTube videos whenever you're browsing, whatever. You hate those ads, but the truth is those ads pay the bills for that YouTuber. Okay, so now you're probably asking yourself, okay, that's cool. I want to get into this business model, but I want to learn more. Like I don't know anything. Like I want to get into it. What's the strategies? How do I get into it? So that's why I wanted to let you know about an academy that I made. Now this academy is called the YouTube Automation Academy. Now in the YouTube Automation Academy, I give you everything step by step, how I've been able to make multiple YouTube channels with over 3 million subscribers totaling and over 400 million views. And how all those YouTube channels have been able to pay me so much money and how you can get started step by step yourself. I give you success stories to teach you all the little fundamentals you need to know. I show you how people with over 10 million subscribers, the tactics that they use that I've learned from them, and I just relay it to you guys in the course. I give you so much information, not to mention that you have access to a group chat. Now the group chat is a Facebook group where we go ahead and communicate with a bunch of other members in the academy. You can collaborate with other members, learn from other members and their success, and just in general, it's a great community where people can work together. Not to mention the fact that I'll be giving away monthly Q&A live streams. So every month in the group, I'll be giving away monthly Q&A live streams. So I'll go ahead and answer all the questions that you have around the business model and helping you guys out. Now, you may be asking yourself, that's cool, that sounds interesting, but here's the thing, do you have any success stories? And I'm glad you asked, because of course I have success stories. Let's talk about Foco. So Foco joined my academy. He learned a lot of the tactics from me, and literally he came to me when he was only making 200 subscribers a day. 200 subscribers is still pretty good a day, but it's not good, right? And so he came to me asking for tips, advice, needed to get the academy information. I gave him the information, and guess what, guys? Within 2 weeks of applying the tactics, he ended up getting a 32,000 subscriber day. That means in a single day, he made 32,000 subscribers, not to mention now he has over 1 million subscribers. He's one of our most successful students in the academy, making and killing the game. And he makes way more money than me now. I mean, he makes over $40,000 a month off of his YouTube channel. Now, that's not the only one. There's so many more success stories I can just pop up on the screen right now that you can see. So many people who tried the academy and everything, and they got the best results, and they're changing the game. That's what I'm saying. This academy breaks down everything you need to know on how to start a YouTube automation channel and make it happen for you. So let's real quick go over what you'll get in the academy. You'll get access to over 5 hours worth of content in the academy, not to mention constant updates that I'll be adding into the video. So that means whenever the algorithm changes, because let's be real, with YouTube, the algorithm can sometimes change. Don't worry, guys, I'll make videos updating you guys about the algorithm changes so you can stay ahead of the curve compared to everybody else. Not to mention you'll get lifetime access. So if you get into the academy, you'll get lifetime access into it. You'll get tactics and information from people with over 10 million subscribers that I've learned that'll go ahead and show you guys that honestly changed the game for me with YouTube. You'll get the community, you'll have a community access to a bunch of other members, and you'll have personal access to me to ask for mentorship, help, questions you have when it comes down to doing channels. Not to mention the step-by-step blueprints and worksheets you'll get by accessing the academy, and special discounts for softwares and different things that we recommend. And honestly, the most important thing and lucrative thing in my opinion is the Q&A. The monthly live streams that we do in the private group where we teach you everything, answer questions that you have, is the most important thing in my opinion, because that's where you're gonna really get real value and real information for sure. And honestly, there's so much more in this academy, so if you're interested, now's the time to get in before it's too late. So I'll go ahead and see you inside of the academy.